Hey guys, Tez here, and this is not Call of Duty. I got somebody ask me if I could do like a review video for the Need for Speed The Run game. His gamer tag's Penson, I know him as Will, but there you go. I've recently bought this. I think I bought it on Saturday and it arrived yesterday. And the first thing I did today was play it, because I got home from work last night about midnight. And the game was sitting on the table for me, so I thought, screw it, I'll go to sleep and I'll play this in the morning. But I ended up going to the dentist. That's a different story. But this is Need for Speed The Run, and it is a hell of a lot of fun. I've not been having as much fun with Call of Duty recently, which is why I went and bought this. I used to play racing games. Well, that was basically what got me into Xbox, or at least into playing games. I used to play Need for Speed Most Wanted on the PS2 and Need for Speed Underground and all those kind of games. But Need for Speed Most Wanted was my all-time favourite racing game. It was unbeatable, and after playing this for maybe a couple of hours, I still think that Need for Speed Most Wanted was the greatest Need for Speed out to date, simply because you can have free roam. I've not completed this game yet, and I'm not sure whether you can get free roam at the end, but from what I've seen so far, there is no free run option. It is just pure racing, which isn't bad, but like I said, I'd like to have the option to free roam, where I can just drive around doing whatever the hell I want and getting in cop chases and whatever. But this is Need for Speed The Run. It doesn't have any free roam unless you unlock it at the end of the campaign. At the moment, I'm maybe about a quarter of the way done with it, and I've played it for about 2, maybe 3 hours. But like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with it. At the moment, I am doing just a regular race, and it just so happened that the first half of it was off-road, and I think the second half is on-road, which is what I'm doing now. I'm using a Lamborghini Gallardo, or Gallardo. I call it the Gallardo, but it's got 2 L's in. But this is probably one of my favourite supercars. I love the car. I don't know why it's in blue. It should be in red. I think I do change it later on in this video actually to red. But I'm using this. I recently just unlocked it. I think, from what I remember, I stole this car. But I'll have to wait and see and find out. I think it also might be in somewhere in this video. But let me get onto the kind of review side of this game. The racing itself is amazing. I'm having a lot of fun just driving around, overtaking people, I guess, and just having a lot of fun really. I can't really fault it. Out of 10, I would say give it about an 8 for gameplay or something like that, or racing, I suppose. But there's a few things that you kind of need to know before you can go into this and do well straight away. There's some options that you can check at the beginning, and one of them is difficulty. There's easy, medium and hard, and then there's extreme, which is unlocked. But I'm playing on hard at the moment, and maybe this is where I change my car colour. I don't know. Yes, it is. I pull into this garage. If you drive around and you see like a petrol station or a garage or whatever, and you pull in, you can switch cars. So here I can choose out of an Aston Martin, 2 BMWs, Ford, 3 Nissans and a Lamborghini. But I wanted my Lamborghini, but I wanted it in red, so I had a look at the kits. I can't remember what it's called now, but I'm having a look at the kits, what kind of kits I can put on. Body kit, that's the one. I was having a look at the kind of body kits that I could put on, which one looks the nicest, and I go with the aero pack at the end, and then I basically paint my car red, and then I carry on with the race. But like I was saying, there's a few things you kind of need to know before you play this game, and allows you to do well. Definitely the difficulty, which one you choose is going to affect it, obviously. But I'm playing on hard. Not that hard at the moment. I don't know if it's because the campaign will get harder as we go, but at the moment I haven't really struggled with anything. I might have had to restart a race once or twice, but I'm one of those people that will play the race right until the very end, and just before I cross the finish line, I'll end up pressing start and restarting it that way. So it's really fun. It's not the hardest of games at the moment. I'd recommend playing it on maybe medium for the first few races, and then go back and restart it on hard if you want to. The cars have handling ratings. I started with a Shelby GT, or a Ford Shelby GT at the very beginning, and that handling rating was very difficult, I think. and it was fairly difficult compared to the M3, the BMW M3, which I switched to later on. But it's not really anything that you really need to worry about. If you see that one's easy and one's a harder handling difficulty, don't choose the easy thinking, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to use the harder car to drive. Definitely try it out because it's a lot of fun even though it's harder to drive. And I missed a shortcut there, I don't know what I was doing. So there's the difficulty of the game, there's the difficulty of the car handling, there's also the minimap. Just like in COD, the minimap is so important. I'm using it quite a lot in this game, and like in COD, it tells you what you need to know. It tells you, well, it didn't tell me that guy stopped in front of me, but it tells you vital information that you need to know in order to basically win. Like on here I can see where the corners are, and I can maybe see 1 or 2 corners ahead, and then I know that if there's a sharp corner coming up, I'll need to brake. If there isn't, I can just take it flat or whatever speed as I somehow get through that roadblock. But also, if you can see there, it's a 0.8, 0.7 in a second miles, and that's basically to the end of the race. And in the top left hand corner you can see positions gained, and at the moment it's 6 of 6. If I was to get overtaken, it would drop down to 5 of 6. And if I get to the finish and I haven't overtaken everybody that I need to, I'd actually lose and I'd have to redo the race. I think it's good. I think it makes it for fun, and it's kind of like a heated thing right at the end if you're not winning. But definitely pay attention to those two HUD things. And right here is basically a free running kind of thing. I'm not sure if there's any more throughout the campaign, but this is the first one that I found, and it's where I actually control the player. Not so much as like running using the analog sticks, making him run, but it's the tapping buttons that everyone likes to do. But right here I'm in Las Vegas, I think, and I'm trying to evade some police. I think I failed this once beforehand and then I went back and did it. But it's a lot of fun this. I was surprised, and you have to be on your toes, because at the beginning there was like a B mashing part, and then suddenly an X flashed up, and here I get busted, which sucks. But I go back and I do it again. But you got to be on your toes when you're doing this, because the little icons, the A, B, X and Y, and the triggers as well, will suddenly change, and you have to be quick to react. And if you don't react, you get busted like I did, but if you do, you get mauled by a dog in a second. So there's lots of different like aspects to this game. There's the free run here, there's something called challenge mode, which I don't think I've had enough time to include in this video. There's different types of races, like I was racing on the road, I was racing off-road, I was doing kind of time trialing things. I think there's one coming up at the end of this video, unless I've missed it. But yeah, I think it's coming up in a minute, where I actually do a time trial, and throughout there's different challenges whilst you're racing. There was a cutscene where I pulled into a gas station, and then these two women came up in their cars, and I was supposed to like beat them. And now in Most Wanted there was always a boss battle, and if you beat the boss you got their car. This was somewhat similar. It wasn't as difficult as the boss battles in Most Wanted, but you had to get to the finish line before those two, and if you did, you got their car. Now there's a few different boss battles. I think one is just, actually no, I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't played this game very much, but that's one boss battle for sure. You have to beat them to the end and you will unlock their car, kind of like a pink slip like you would in Most Wanted. But as I get more familiar with the game, I will let you know a lot more about it. Review, let me finish off this review. So I gave the game, or how it plays, about an 8 out of 10. I think there's a few areas that they can improve on, especially like there's areas or there's parts of roads where you can drive off and you fall into like a cliff. Now I've done that a couple times and it sucks, especially when you have to redo the entire thing. But I think there's an option, or where you rewind, you go back. Now I don't know the button for this, and this is why I think I've rated it an 8, because they don't include, or they didn't include in my copy, any buttons to tell me how to play it. And I was looking everywhere for buttons in the manual. Actually no, it's not even a manual, it's like 2 pieces of paper. And I was looking on the settings on the actual game, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So that's why I knocked it down for the overall. The graphics and everything are beautiful. I'll give them a 9 out of 10, simply because if I gave it a 10 out of 10, then that would be a bit awkward. Actually no, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10, so it's getting as close as possible. There's a few things that they could have improved, such as I think I drive into a small tree at some point and I get like no damage on my car. But this is the final time trial that I'm going to include in this video, and it's a lot of fun, especially when you're coming down to the wire and you've only got a few seconds to actually get to the checkpoint before you lose. Now as you level up, you actually level up your driver rank, and as you level up your driver rank you get a few things. The first I got was boost or NOS or nitrous or whatever, and then as you level up further it actually tells you how to like add NOS onto your empty bottle. And the first one that you got for it, I think that comes as standard, is basically speed. If you're driving really fast you'll add up NOS and you'll be able to use it more. And as you rank up you get more for near misses. You get some for driving on the wrong side of the road, which is why you see me do this quite a lot in this little clip. And you also get more for, I think it's overtaking like other players, I think. I'm not quite sure, but there was 3. And here I'm coming up to the end. I did hit a rock and that sucked because the road threw me out there. But if you can drive as well as possible, and if you kind of stick to the rules of like slow and fast out, I don't know if many of you watch racing, like car racing or bike racing, but the idea is if you come into a corner nice and slow at a good speed, you can accelerate sooner than if you were to go in really fast, brake, turn and then accelerate, because you're always keeping a constant speed. So if you kind of stick to how racing is actually done, you'll be able to definitely finish the game or the races faster. And yeah, that's about it. Sorry for the abrupt end, but I would definitely give this game about 9 out of 10. So pick it up if you have the money. If not, don't worry, go buy Need for Speed Most Wanted. But I'll speak to you later, guys. Bye.